Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of He Said, He Said, He Said, a look at the world from a seasoned black man's perspective. I'm your host, Alvin King. Welcome to our Friday, February the 7th episode. Happy Black History Month to everybody, or Happy Black History, okay? Because Black History is every day for me. I hope you guys are doing well. We are back again for another Let's Get Newsy episode, ladies and gentlemen. And believe it, there is so much in the news. And who would have thought that one of the hottest topics around the world right now would be eggs, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, egg prices are doing things that many of us haven't seen in a long time. But before November 5th, we were told that eggs were going to be, the cost of eggs would be lowered. But that truly is not the case, because last week I paid the most for eggs that I have paid in like years. And restaurants are putting surcharges on egg dishes, like IHOP and the Waffle House and Crackle Barrel, etc. They are making you pay up to like 40 cents per egg in some cases, ladies and gentlemen, when you want them. And it is getting so bad that there was a theft reported last Saturday night of 100,000 organic eggs worth more than $40,000 from a distribution trailer in South Central Pennsylvania. The facility where the eggs were poached was operated by Pete and Jerry's Organics in the borough of Greencastle, according to Pennsylvania State Police. But it is getting so bad that people are stealing eggs, ladies and gentlemen. So look, um, the worst is yet to come. All right. So hold on to your eggs, ladies and gentlemen. But again, welcome to our show tonight. It is Super Bowl weekend, and the Kansas City Chiefs are going for 3, and the Philadelphia Eagles are seeking a revenge and trying to capture the win after falling to the Chiefs 2 years ago. I'm rooting definitely for Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes, because they are two black quarterbacks who are going head to head in the most watched game of the year. And ladies and gentlemen, you have to admit, football has been really exciting this year. It has been really exciting. And for me, it has been exciting because the Commanders have been doing what they've needed to do. And one of the most thrilling rookies from the 2024 season has been crowned. Washington Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels was named 2024 AP NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year at the NFL Honors last night in New Orleans. In addition, though, to winning the Rookie of the Year, he also took home by surprise the Moment of the Year in all of the entire season of the of football. He took home the Moment of the Year award for the 57-yard Hail Mary throw during the Chicago Bears game in October. I am not mad at him. And for all the people who are sending up these Eagle signs, I'm gonna get to y'all, because you congratulations. I'm rooting for the Eagles, to be honest with you guys. Okay. And speaking of the game, there's always some drama. Can you believe that the NFL are removing the end racism signs that are currently in the stadium? They're removing them from the stadium because the 34-count convicted felon, who's now the president of the United States, will be in attendance. How ironic is that? That he doesn't want to see anything about racism in that stadium. And so they are removing that. That's the reason why Bobby doesn't look at football, and I'm sure he'll mention that to you all tonight. Also, one last thing before I bring the guys on regarding the Super Bowl. As you know, Kendrick Lamar is performing, and he's bringing SZA with him to perform. Now, I don't know a lot about Kendrick Lamar's music, but the dude just won 4 Grammys or 5 Grammys last Sunday at the Grammy Awards, so he's doing something right. But the story here is Lil Wayne, if you all remember him. Lil Wayne is feeling slighted because he said he was not invited to perform at the Super Bowl, being that he is a resident of New Orleans and they didn't invite him. So I don't know much, like I said, about Kendrick Lamar. But when I look at Kendrick Lamar's success over here, and I look at Lil Wayne's success over here, Kendrick Lamar is going to do a damn good job tomorrow night on Sunday at the Super Bowl. So congratulations to you, Kendrick Lamar. Lil Wayne, you're going to have to sit this one out. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, I don't do any of this by myself. So if you all are ready, let's get Sean and Bobby in here for the chat. Gentlemen, how you doing?
Good evening. Doing very well.
You know, Sean, I can't see that shirt. Something about that shirt I think I like. That sweatshirt. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. Can you move to your right a little bit more? I want to get move. There you go. Okay. All right. I love that sweatshirt. You know, I'm a polo man. Okay, I like that. I'm sorry. Hey, Bobby. I'm sorry. I got caught up in fashion. Hey, Bobby. How you doing? Bobby, you.
Oh, there I am.
Look, ladies and gentlemen, it's live. Okay,
it's live. You know, I was saying obviously my turtleneck isn't working, but it's all right. Hey, Sean.
Hey, Bobby.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, look, we got some folks that have come up in here. Sean from Ohio is here tonight. Monica, how you doing? Michelle Bowie. Hey, Rodney is from the good old Philadelphia area. That's right,
hey,
Eagle.
Rodney.
Kendall and George. Thank you all for being here tonight. Thank you for being here tonight. Have you guys had a great week?
It's been a week. It's been a week. It's been a challenging week, but there are no complaints.
Okay.
There are no complaints. Right. We thank God for all of our blessings, great and small.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, it was long for me as well because my week was in anticipation of my cousins coming to town. So I was like, I can't wait until Friday.
And they're here.
And they're here. So
welcome, cousins.
Oh, look at the smile on his face.
I have a great family.
I need cousins to come visit me to do that. Please, I live alone, so having guests, it's like, always, But Sean, maybe you can make a believer out of me. Thank you. Okay,
I would try.
We will try. Well, let's get tonight's show started.
All right, man.
I've got a little follow-up story based upon one of the stories that I shared with our audience last week concerning the Tuskegee Airmen. So unfortunately, it's with a sad heart that we report that we actually lost one of the few surviving Tuskegee Airmen this week. It was retired Lieutenant Colonel Harry Stewart, a decorated World War II pilot who broke racial barriers as a Tuskegee Airman and earned honors for his combat heroism. He died at the age of 100. Now, Stewart was one of the last surviving combat pilots of the famed 332, the 332nd Fighter Group, also known as the Tuskegee Airmen. The group were the nation's first Black military pilots, and they have earned their spot in aviation history. The Tuskegee Airmen National Historical Museum confirmed the death, and the organization said he passed peacefully at his home in Bloomfield, Illinois, Michigan on Sunday. Now, Stewart earned the Distinguished Flying Cross from downing 3 German aircraft during a dogfight in April of 1945, guys. He was also part of a team of 4 Tuskegee Airmen who won the U.S. Air Force Top Gun flying competition in 1949, although their accomplishment would not be recognized until a decade later. So today we honor the name of retired Lieutenant Colonel Harry Stewart Jr., Tuskegee Airman. May he rest in peace, and we thank him for being a living legend of American Black history.
Wow, and so ironic, Bobby. You just talked about it last week.
Just talked about him, and he lived to be 100 years old. So we honor his name.
Wow. Let me say hello to Scenic DC. Thank you for loving Let's Get Newsy. We love getting we love getting newsy with you. So thank you so much. And Rodney says that he lives across the street from a Tuskegee Airman widow.
Small world. And I'm sure that is an honor. I'm sure she has stories to tell of her husband's accomplishments. And again, as we talk about Black History Month, these were people. Imagine being a Black flying pilot back in that day, what it must have been like for them.
And you know what's really amazing about this story, Mr. Stewart, is that they brought diversity to the Air Force.
Absolutely.
And now we just had recently the effort to remove the teaching about the Tuskegee Airmen from the Air Force Academy, but it was put back in. So this is why Black history is so crucial for everyone to learn.
Yes.
And DEI continues to be an issue around the country. You know, last week we talked about companies that were getting rid of DEI, but there are a plethora of companies that are keeping DEI, and we should be aware of that, and we should try to support those organizations like Costco, JP Morgan Chase, American Airlines, Southwest Airlines, United, Goldman Sachs, Cisco, Microsoft, Delta. They are all standing firm when it comes to their DEI programs. So they're saying, no, this is a good thing for us. So hearing about the Tuskegee Airman, Mr. Stewart, and what he has done, that was DEI.
Absolutely.
And that diversity has made the Air Force stronger. And so we got to hold these companies to account. And what we do is support the ones that are supporting us.
Absolutely. And we remind them that Black history is indeed American history.
American
Amen.
history. And it's every day.
365.
It is every single day. Thank you, guys. Thank you, JJ. Thank you. How you doing, JJ? Thank you for joining us tonight. You know, guys, I when I thought about what was going on this week for our chat, I read something on one of our viewers' page that I want to share with you guys that I thought, you know what? And I did ask her. I said, "Can I?"
I was going to say, are you page scoping viewers now?
Well, you know, people say, you know, we have some viewers that, you know, I see them, I see their pages, but I did ask permission. Could I share this with our viewers? Because I wanted you all to know this. And she said I could use her name too. One of our viewers by the name of Kay Laporte, she posted on her page last Sunday. And I was like, this is like a concern for me. And this, I'm verbatim what she wrote.
Okay.
She looked at going to brunch on last Sunday at the park in DC. And she said when she called them to confirm a reservation, she said she found out it was $60 for unlimited food and mimosas, plus 10% sales tax, plus 20% service charge. Payment must be made in advance, or an additional $10 upcharge would be added. And she said you could only stay for 2 hours. And if you stay longer than 2 hours, an additional cost would be incurred. And she said, is it her or is she just getting old AF? Okay. I was like, Kay, please let me pose this or share this with our viewers. First of all, that's absurd.
It's absurd. First of all, I don't know of any brunch that's worth all that. And not to disparage Park, but I'm just like, it's not like they're known for their food necessarily.
Exactly.
I'm not trying to call anybody out, but all I'm saying is there are restaurants in the DC area, folks, for those of you who are not in the DMV, who are known for their food and who people find, you know, all kinds of ways to even make reservations and so forth. That establishment is not known for its food to be doing all of that.
It's more for young people, in my opinion. So I'm over 50. I'll be 54 next week. So I'm like, I don't need it. Yeah. There are other restaurants, Black owned, where you can get all you can eat, and the food is better than the park.
He's the baby of the three of us, clearly. I'll be 54.
and I'm telling y'all, my point in sharing this wasn't like to necessarily, you know, come down on the park, because I haven't been to the park in ages. But just know that there are other places that you can go. And Bobby, I gotta share this with everybody, because I took you to a place that for $100, a brunch for $100, and it was a private brunch for like 8 people. Remember? Do you remember that moment?
Was fabulous.
It was for 8 people, and not only did you get 4 hours, but the food never stopped coming.
And it
And
was
then the person took you up from where you ate to the
to the
roof
rooftop.
to close the brunch.
Yes, it was fabulous. And it
Wow.
was $100. And as Alvin said, there was no restriction. Nobody was pushing us out the door. It was beautiful. Our names were, we had little name cards, name placemat cards at each of our table settings. It was fabulous. It was over the top. It was Alvin King at his finest.
Well, I have been asked a couple of times by the group who I took. It was like I just wanted to have a boys' day to be with some people who I hadn't seen in a long time. And her name is Chef Cottrell. By the way, she's been on the
Chef
show. She's one of
Cottrell.
our resident chefs. But she does a brunch for $100, and believe me, you will not be disappointed at all.
Nope.
At all.
And for those of you who are not from the DMV, we brunch here. Like we
Yes, we
take
do.
brunch
Very
very
seriously.
seriously.
Very seriously, okay? So we don't play with it. But thank you for letting us share that now, chat, ladies and gentlemen. So we do have some top stories that we want to share with you.
Oh
so
my gosh, yes.
Yes.
Okay, so
it's some mess.com out here.
our first top story deals with a black church here in DC that was vandalized by the Proud Boys and now has gained control over the group's trademark. What do you think about that? Now, a judge has awarded a historic black church here in Washington, D.C. control over the Proud Boys trademark after the far-right group had the audacity to default on a $2.8 million judgment. Now, the Monday ruling in D.C. Superior Court grants rights to the trademark of the group's name to Metropolitan African American Methodist Church. Anybody in the DC knows Metropolitan is a storied church here in DC. And it bars the Proud Boys members from selling any merchandise with its name or symbols without the church's consent. That's what I love. They cannot sell anything with that symbol or that logo without the church's consent. The ruling allows the church to try to seize any money made from the selling of the group's merchandise. And the church filed the lawsuit to try to recoup damages from vandalism made by the group back in 2020 at a the president rally, because I don't like saying his name, but it was in 2020 and it was a pro him. Okay, so Black Lives Matters banners were torn down and burned at two churches, including Metropolitan. And so it was as a result of their vandalization of the church that they have now found themselves at the mercy of the church when it comes to the selling of any of that Proud Boys logo, paraphernalia, anything. The church receives funding from that, proceeds from it.
There's a lesson learned here from how the church handled that. And for all that we have going on, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes you got to sit back and think about what you're going to do instead of react. And that the church sat back and thought about it. I saw the I don't know if he was the pastor of the church, but I saw him on the news. And I just sat back and listened to how he said they went about it. And it was so strategic. And I thought that's what we have to do. We have to think that way in times like this. This climate that we're in right now, there's so much. Oh, I was getting ready to curse. There is so much stuff coming at us.
I think the word probably started with an S though. So stuff
stuff was good. Stuff was good.
Yeah.
But that was a lesson learned that people need to watch how they did. Now, one of the Proud Boys said that he was going to use their name to come up with a new name called something about whatever the name of the church, something African American Episcopal Church Proud Boys. He said he was going to do that. And that's when I heard the minister or the pastor say, let him try it.
Let him try it.
Yeah.
Let him try it.
But
It's great irony though that they would vandalize the church and then end up in this position that they're in now.
But it's a lesson that the media needs to learn as well. And I think, Alvin, you're correct, because the media needs to learn this lesson. And the media, and I'll say corporate media, they are not reporting on the antics of the other individual who's, in my opinion, in alignment with the Proud Boys, and that is Elon Musk, the white South African who grew up in apartheid and believes in apartheid. But this man is trying to take over our government. And we all know that he has gone in and he's trying to take over the U.S. Treasury. And for those of you who are trying to get that tax refund, okay, all right, pay attention, because you may not get it because he's there. But that's not been reported by the corporate media. And we also know that what happened with USAID, people are chiming in and not really understanding what the purpose of USAID is. It's aid to other countries to help them, and they want to take that away, And we also know about the Department of Education, them trying to shut that down. So the lesson to learn for the media is do what the church did and hold people accountable by hitting them where it hurts, which is in their pocketbooks.
Amen. Amen.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
Oh,
Amen.
Lord.
And at a time, here we are going through all of this right now. And again, life doesn't stop.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't stop. And a week ago, Wednesday, we saw one of the most horrific plane crashes in Washington, D.C. since 1982.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And all this administration can do is just create chaos. And then when they had the opportunity to talk about the crash and the victims and everything that has occurred from this horrific crash, they seized the opportunity to use it as a political moment. And it was just so disgusting to see. But I want to take a moment to let all of you know, if you don't know, that since that crash a week ago, Wednesday, the authorities have recovered all of the 67 victims from the Potomac River, and which was less than a week after the American Airlines flight collided with a military helicopter right here in Washington, D.C. The search and recovery efforts are over after the crash last week, but only 66 people were completely identified. Okay, so
of the 67.
Of the 67. So
Wow.
That's another sad twist, to all of that. And according to the medical examiners, they're still working to identify the last victim, because they want to bring some closure to the families, who have been impacted by this. And our hearts, go out to the victims and the families as they navigate through this. And Bobby and Sean, I want you to know I am somewhat connected to someone who's actually dealing with this every day. So I just want people to know that the trauma from this horrific crash is real, and people are going through it. And, again, to get that administration up on, give them the mic and they treat this like this was another day is just freaking ridiculous to me, so that
sensitivity at the highest level. It's sad.
Just very sad. And as you would have it, when you have something like this, there are people who are trying to capitalize on it. And 2 people were arrested for leaking images of the AA flight crash. A gentleman, there were 2 workers, both from Maryland. They received a computer trespass charge at the end of last week in connection with making an unauthorized copy of the airport's authority records, according to the MWAA. And a gentleman by the name of 21-year-old by the name of Muhammad, I think it's M. Bain. He went to a detention center in Arlington County. And then there was another person, 45 years old. You're too old. Jonathan Savoy, the other employee, who took a video and sold it to, I think it was CNN. CNN, you know what I'm saying?
So were they there when it actually happened and had video footage of it, or they stole someone's video?
They were employees of the
airport?
The airline of authority, correct. And so they made a copy of the video or whatever,
yes, and sold it. So I don't know what the time frame is. Stupid. Stupid has no favorites.
Insensitive. Insensitive. Yeah. And since we're talking about airplanes, Last week we were doing the show, and Bobby was in Philadelphia
Yes.
when an airplane literally killed. What was it? 10 people? No, it was
There was
people.
6, I
Seven.
think, on that.
Seven.
6 or 7. Yeah.
6 or 7 people where this jet crashed in the middle of Philadelphia.
Yeah, and down and one of the edges on the I think it was the northeast edge of Philadelphia. Yes.
I mean, again, there's been some horrific stuff, and this is the remnants of what that plane did that day. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we were on doing the show, and Bobby said breaking news.
Like, there are all these sirens in my background here. What is going on? Yeah.
And before I let you all go, because this is going to make me paranoid, because I might have to get on a plane real soon. But a plane also went missing in Alaska yesterday.
What?
With 10 people on it.
I have not heard that.
Have they found it?
Missing.
Have they found it?
No trace of it today. Today.
No, I hadn't heard that either.
Today. Ladies and gentlemen, pray.
Yeah, in all seriousness, because the other issue that's related to the flight issue is that the person that Sean had spoken about earlier, Elon Musk, is supposedly trying to get some control over the FAA as well. So as you said, there's a lot of S happening right now.
A lot of S. How you doing, Michelle Sims? Thank you for being here. We see you, my sister. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. So our next story has to deal with some of that as well, because I don't know if you guys heard about the federal buyout offer that many federal employees received an email suggesting to them that they had reached what was referred to as the fork in the road option. And this option required them to make a decision to retire, to accept retirement or this buyout by midnight of the day that they received the email, in order to be able to still be paid through September. So they were retiring, but they would continue to be paid until September, or they could refuse the offer and just risk getting laid off altogether. So it was putting people in this really tenable situation of trying to decide, do I accept this? Because if my job is going to end at some point anyway, and a lot of this is tied to DOGE, which is the Department of Government Efficiency, that is led by none other than Elon Musk. Now, the thing is, the fork of the road situation came, and it was the deadline has now been kind of like delayed or postponed. But the deadline was midnight, February 6th. That was the day that actually they had to make the decision.
Yesterday.
That's what it was. Yes, that they had to make the decision. Now it's been delayed, temporarily delayed by, there's a judicial decision made to delay it. But the whole notion that these people had an email and they had to make a decision within hours was deemed illegal.
Illegal.
I think it's kind of crazy, because I think I heard also with that there were a few folks within the IRS who was willing to take that buyout, but then they were told that, no, you are deemed essential employees, so therefore you don't qualify. So
there was actually a gentleman on the news who took the option, because he was figuring, I'm not going to have any options later on. He's near retirement anyway. He said, I might as well just go on and do it. He's not heard anything since then. So now he's waiting in limbo going, did they accept it? Was it really a hoax? Is it now not valid because of the delay, the temporary stay on it? This is the chaos that Alvin was speaking about. Imagine being at your job and you get an email that says, if you retire by midnight, we'll pay you through September. Otherwise, you just take it day by day. It's a risk what we might do to your job.
Yeah, and some people are saying that if they take the buyout, they may not even get their pensions.
Absolutely.
I mean,
and
that's
you have to make
insane.
all this decision in hours. This is the Department of Government Efficiency. And now there have been some protests in the area. There have been government workers who have been out protesting this and saying enough is enough. And Elon Musk was not an elected official. They're like saying, how does he have the power to do what he is apparently doing?
Right. I got a couple of things. How you doing, Blue? Blue
Hey, Blue.
says CBP, the largest agency, can't take the illegal buyout.
Okay.
Okay, so that's good news. But I want to speak to again. I don't want to sound insensitive, but I want to speak to the government workers. We are in a what they call a continuing resolution right now with the government. So ask the question: if I take this buyout, like they said, where's the money coming from?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there's a lot of money that they're saying that they would pay people if everyone took it. Yes.
we the government is in a continuing resolution, and I'm sure it is probably imminent that at the end of March, the government is going to be shut down. You know what I'm saying? Because of what we're doing right now. But I don't want to sound insensitive because, these people who are getting these letters, their lives are at stake. They're thinking about their livelihoods. It is so insensitive and so hateful. And I want to all the people who voted for them to get in office, who think that it couldn't happen to you. That's who I want it to happen to. I want you to feel it. I want you to feel it. For those who put them in office, who said that who thought that it couldn't happen to them.
Yeah.
Because you put some highlight in your hair, and it just made you, you thought you were a different person, or you thought your code switching was going to work. No, it's happening to you too.
I don't know if you saw, Alvin, but one of our faithful viewers, Sean, gave us a little breaking news update on your plane story, actually.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Sean. I was on my high horse. What do you say? The crash plane in Alaska has been found. The 10 people on board are still missing.
Which is even more concerning that they found the plane and the people are not there. So I'm like, Sean, what are you saying?
What is happening here?
That's not good.
That sounds like the TV show Lost.
I'm telling you, the plane is found and they don't know where the people are. That's kind of scary. Hey,
no. Troy, welcome. Blue says FAFO is happening all across the country. Okay, I'm not good with acronyms, but I think I know what it is. Fool around and find out.
Yes. I was waiting for you.
I was like, I think I haven't.
Yeah.
I thought I know.
And you're being
he's very nice. Very nice.
Appropriate with fool around.
Yes.
Fool around and find out.
Troy, tell me, Troy, you serious? Troy said he cursed. I can't do it. But he said, I'm flying to Alaska in April.
He said, shiggity.
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
Fool around.
Troy, well, I pray for you anyway, Troy. I pray for you anyway. But
thanks for listening, Troy, all the time. Coming and watching. Yes.
Oh, my God. But it's just total foolery that's happening right now. And one more thing before we get into entertainment. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have some light stuff for y'all today, okay? I know
it's been a heavy show, but yes.
But can we... There were a lot of people who were protesting about, Gaza and, the Palestinian protest and whatnot. And for months, we didn't talk about it on the show here because we didn't want to get too political and wanted to make sure that we kind of stayed on the side. But those people who were protesting, if I recall, were protesting that the Biden administration wasn't going to help them, and the Biden administration were their enemies, and the Biden administration was all about, not supporting them. And now I'm seeing videos from Palestinians after the remark that the person they voted for said that he wanted all of them out.
Yes.
He wanted all of you out. Don't ask for my help. Don't ask for
and I'm going to tell you what other countries will accept you. And other countries are like,
nope.
No.
I don't think so.
No. All those people who vandalized buildings and did all this stuff in DC and protested and all this, saying that Kamala Harris was this, that, and the other, and they weren't going to vote for her. And they voted for him, and he got on live TV and said, get out.
Not only get out, not only get out, but we're going to now take over this land and turn it into one of the most desired destinations in the world. This is what he thinks. Now, mind you, there are communities here in the United States of America that could use support and aid as citizens of the country that he leads, but that's neither here nor there. You're going to go to a territory that is not your own and turn it into a world-class resort area after putting people out who have claim to the land.
Right. You know, and what's even more crazy about this story is that Benjamin Netanyahu didn't even know that was going to be said. He was totally unaware that those words were going to come out of the orange man's mouth when it came to Gaza. But when it came out, what did he do? He was like, oh, it's a great idea, the best idea I've ever heard. So look who you're dealing with, people.
Yeah.
Right. Look who you do. And not to mention that everything he's touched have gone bankrupt. So I'm just saying, and I don't need Facebook to fact check me on that. Okay. No, I don't need you to do that.
Proof is in the pudding.
The proof is in the pudding. Well, first of all, Raw Health, welcome to the show. Where you been? Hopefully you were out having dinner, and not with us. You were having a good time. Raw Health said, "What's going on, guys?" And the madness is ongoing. His casino failed in New Jersey. Mic drop. Right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We thank you, Raw.
Raw Health says I was at the gym. Okay.
Thank you. Okay,
we know our audience, so that makes all the sense in the world.
We're going to lighten it up a bit. Blue, what does Blue say?
He said he's trying to take over Gaza, Greenland. It's out of control.
Troy says we're
Panama and Canada.
Yeah,
according to it's a mess.
It's a mess.
Okay, it's time for us to get into something.
Okay, we're going to get it light. We're going to get it in other news in our social and entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who saw the Grammys last week, we're going to spend a little time on that because this year was the first time that I saw all 3.5 hours of the Grammy.
It was long. I think I checked out at about 11ish. So
I
didn't watch it.
I mean,
he said. So I was like, I ain't watching.
He said, I ain't look at any of it. I mean, even though I knew only half of the artists, a third of the artists.
So that would have been pretty good.
It was still a good production. There were some highlights, but some of the highlights started before the show even began on the red carpet with Kanye West and his wife, Bianca Censori, who decided to show up, and she was basically she was naked. She was naked. But this story right here about these two, everybody's blaming Conway. Conway.
Like Con.
They're blaming who?
You said it right, Conway.
Conway. They are blaming him for her showing up and taking her coat off. I mean, is she under a spell, or is she, who is this person? She's a puppet that does whatever he says, or what? I don't know. But come on now. I mean, we already know what he's capable of, but her, don't be. I'm just sorry. Stop blaming Conway. She was a mess. They both are a mess, and they are a mess. Okay, they are a hot mess.
I agree with you because I think it's problematic on so many levels. The chauvinistic perspective, the sexism, all of it. But she also, as you said, there was no gun to her head.
No.
So it makes me say, what does she think about herself in terms of being able to present herself publicly that way? It is par for the course for him.
There is no literal gun, but you have to question her self-esteem and her insecurities because she obviously has some deep insecurities.
Absolutely. To feel that she has to walk the red carpet.
It's not about her body
to that degree.
it's not about her body. So I will say that.
But what we often know though is that situations like that, what we've seen, are often the result of cosmetic surgery and all those other things.
Exactly.
As well. So there's not even a guarantee that what we saw was authentically her, but manufactured as well. And given who she was walking the red carpet with, I'm probably, and that person's track record in terms of the type of women that he finds himself attracted to, I'm going to say that was probably not all as natural as it might have appeared.
And makeup does wonders.
Yeah. For everybody, right? Well, and before we get into the nitty gritty, there's one more thing I wanted to show you all because this has gone viral. Beyonce's meme, we're going to talk about her, ladies and gentlemen, of course, but her meme after she realized that I've seen so many memes about her looking surprised after winning the Best Country Album Award. But I think we can't see it because our pictures are here. Well, you can see it if it was blown up. People went berserk about her breasts. There was a wardrobe malfunction with her breast, her bra, and people just went crazy on that.
I'm missing it. What happened with
the bra? Can you see it? Can you look at her?
Is that a piece of a wire or something that popped up?
Under her bra came pop.
Okay.
And people and when Jay-Z hugged her that night, he told her, your bra, something is happening, because they picked right up on it. But people wanted to make that some major news. But anyway, that's the meme, because we got more to talk about her. But I just wanted to kick it off with that.
Well, let me ask you something about the meme. Do you think that she was honestly surprised? Do you think that was an authentic face?
I do. I do. No, I do. No.
Obviously, Sean does not agree with you.
Well, I thought it was an authentic face because it was the Best Country Album Award.
Money. They buy the Grammy. People don't want to hear this, but oftentimes the Grammys are purchased behind the scenes.
Well, I believe that's how Taylor got a lot of hers, but Beyonce earned that. I think she earned it. When it comes to money, it was one of the highest grossest albums of last year.
There's no question that it was a successful album.
Yeah,
no
true. I agree.
True. And I want to say, because I'm following up with the story about this win, this record-breaking win, history-making win. The Beehive celebrates because Beyonce it actually was awarded the elusive Best Country Album of the Year. And we know that there has been controversy because of the snob that they feel that she got from the Country Western Music Association. And she received the accolades that many people have said that the Grammys had one job to do this year. And they were like, this was the job that they needed to do, was to affirm Beyonce's success and the success of this album. And so one of the things that we wanted to make note of was that she is the fourth Black woman to win such the honor, and she's the first person since Lauryn Hill to win it in 1999. The other thing that was of note, in her acceptance speech, she dedicated her win to Linda Martell, and Linda was the first Black woman to ever play the Grand Ole Opry. And so one of the things I will say, I do have some issues every now and then with Queen Bee, but I will say that she does often take a moment to educate and to really uplift the names of people who have often been relegated to be a footnote in country history. There are a lot of people who would have never known Linda Martell's name. And this was the first Black woman to play the Grand Ole Opry. So I have great appreciation for her deference and her ability to really kind of uplift the names of those that have often been not recognized.
Well, I'm going to go because I know this is he said, and they didn't say what they had to say, ladies and gentlemen. But one of the other highlights in the show was how they featured the new artist nominees this year.
It was great.
And I mean, the way they did it was great. They let them perform. They started with Doechii. She performed, and then Ray performed. Ray is like the new what's her name? The new Sade by way of Amy Winehouse.
I tell you, yes, both of them. I agree.
Teddy Swim, Shabuzi, Benson Boone, and Sabrina Carpenter and Chappell Roan. They did not perform in this category because they had performed earlier. And Chappell Roan went on to win for best new artist. And when she won, she looked like she was Glinda the Good Witch and reading this book as she read the industry to the point of, you all made me your hooker, and I don't want anyone else to be in this position again. She read the industry so bad that it was like, wow. I
And
know
she
they
concluded with, "We've got your back, but do you all have ours?"
but do you
did.
have ours?
Mhm.
Yeah.
She went on them. John Avery, welcome to the show tonight. He
Hey,
said,
John.
I own two of the country albums nominated and have heard some of the other two, and trust Beyonce's album was better and more inventive.
Okay, John.
Yeah. It's good
Okay.
to hear.
John, dinner at my house on March 30th.
I was going to say, John, you've won the good graces of one of us, the main host of the show, I should point out. Yes. Yes.
Thank you for that. No, I thought the way they introduced the best, what do you call it, the new artist.
Yeah.
It was absolutely incredible, and it helped me get or identify people who I didn't know.
I want to support you in that. I thought it was really inventive and creative, but
Mhm.
most importantly, I thought the artists were absolutely impressive this year. It was no easy choice for the Academy to choose who they were going to salute, because Teddy Swims, that brother can sing. Ray, she is, like you said, I appreciate your capturing those two artists, because she does remind me of both Sade and Amy Winehouse. That woman can sing, and she looked stunning that night. Doshi, I'd never heard of her, Doshi, but she came through. Her performance was powerful.
Yes.
The whole the choreography of it, the presentation of it, and then her own acceptance speech. When she won her award for best female rap artist, or best rap artist. I'm sorry, and she's I think the third female to have won it, but it was impressive.
Yeah.
But they were really very, very good, all of them.
It was absolutely one of the best highlights. And so, speaking of another highlight, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go here. Quincy Jones was honored, and they had the audacity to ask Janelle Monáe to follow someone we're going to talk about in a few minutes with a tribute singing Michael Jackson's "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough." So I'm just going to ask the viewers, was this a hit or was this a miss? And as far as I'm concerned, until you all respond, they could have left this out of the show or called Chris Brown and said, "Chris, are you busy? Because we need you to come. We need you to be here." Or anybody but Usher. But they could have called Chris Brown to
What's
come
with
in.
Usher?
They needed someone who was.
Michelle says what?
They needed someone who was a little younger and not on skates. I thought that
Sean,
Janelle
our
Monáe,
co-host is very opinionated tonight.
Say what?
I said, Sean, our co-host is very opinionated tonight.
I know he likes Usher, but he didn't favor with me on Beyonce. But I do love you, Sean. I really do. I really do love you. I really do love you.
Your square is gonna be this big next week.
Yeah, but yeah, I thought that what's her name, Janelle Monáe, no, and then you had the audacity to come on after who did she come on after?
Who did she come on after? I don't know.
Yes, tell me.
She came on after Cynthia Erivo.
That's the person that I was waiting to hear. Cynthia Erivo was just Cynthia Erivo. Look at Cynthia Erivo. First of all, Cynthia Erivo did a stirring, haunting rendition of "Fly Me to the Moon" in her tribute to Quincy Jones. And I mean, look at her. From her outfit to the performance, her vocal prowess is unparalleled. She can take a song and control it, make it her own, and yet also respect the integrity of the song, the original production. Cynthia Erivo is beast, in my opinion. And so there is no question of those two performances, which one we're going to lean to. But Cynthia Erivo she hits home runs, is what I'm going to say. And she did one that night. It was a master class. Yep, I concur.
I challenge everybody who hasn't seen it to Google it, but not only listen to her. When Cynthia Erivo is so classy, the way she moves her shoulders and her body and her mannerisms, she is a production of herself.
Sure. I wasn't a fan of the hat, but that's not
okay.
Dress was fabulous.
See, he said, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. All right.
But we all know if they want to find out what Cynthia does, you know the video clip. Alfred.
I do, but we're gonna fly me to the moon on this one, Bobby. We're gonna fly me to the moon, ladies and gentlemen. Please Google it on behalf of he said because she did what needed to be done. I'm sorry. Okay, and that's our Grammy wrap up. Okay.
Let me say this. You guys are educating me because you know that I'm not that much into pop culture. So these names you mentioned, I've heard of some, but most I never heard of at all. So I am going to go back and look at the Grammys new artists because I'm looking for some new music now that Janet is still on my list that I don't listen to her anymore. List. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, list.
And I've heard a lot about Cynthia and hearing this word master, I'm starting to accept it now because I know how that feels when you have someone, an artist, you think about that way. And I feel that way about Jonathan Majors, whose career was derailed. But it feels like his career is on the way back. And I'm super, super, super excited that Jonathan Majors is returning to motion picture. His film, Magazine Dreams, is coming out later this year, I think in March. But this movie has been on the shelves for about 2 years, maybe 2.5 years. And so finally we get to see this movie that was supposed to put Jonathan Majors in the Oscar category finally. And so this man, to me, everything I've seen him in, from The Last Black Man in San Francisco, Lovecraft Country, he's good. He is a master of his craft.
Excellent.
And so I'm asking everyone, this is Black History Month. When the movie comes out, please support Jonathan Majors because he was on that path to superstardom. And then we know what happened to him in terms of a woman. And I don't want to go there because it's not a good story. But needless to say, he's with a beautiful Black woman right now. They have a great relationship. It's going well. I hope they get married one day. And hopefully both their careers will soar. And hopefully one day we'll see them as that Black excellent couple that we want to see do very well. So please support Jonathan Majors because I'm excited for this brother who is finally back, and he is a true thespian.
Now, in response to Sean, I'm going to say,
Oh no. Okay. He said. I'm sorry. I'm with
okay.
Sean.
What? Why? Tell me.
I am Team Sean. No. Look, I'm Team Sean. Don't even try to go there because we got a few minutes, and so okay.
Call me, listeners. Call me.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we end our, thank you, Sean, thank you, Bobby. Before we end our entertainment section, I want you all to know that on the 14th, Saturday Night Live will celebrate its 50th anniversary special. Please, this will get your mind off of whatever's going on in the world. If you need a laugh, please check this out. I saw the pre-show last week of them doing some skits and whatnot, but this is going to be really funny, and I hope you all check it out. Check it out, please. Before we let you all go, and I know we may run over just a couple of minutes, so hang with us tonight because we are live and we just got caught up tonight. It is in honor of Black History Month. Each week, one of us will, select an individual or individuals to honor and recognize. And so Bobby and Sean told me to kick it off this week. And so if you all are ready, let's have a little Black excellence. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the individual I want to celebrate is Daisy Gasson Bates, who walked Black kids to white schools every day. And the history books never mentioned her name. That's a hugely important thing she did, but not all by a long shot. She was also an author, activist, and Black leader in Arkansas. She served as the president of the Arkansas chapter of the NAACP and even worked in the LBJ administration. In fact, Arkansas even has a Daisy Bates Day um, coming up on Monday, February the 17th, by the way, right before Sean's birthday. She and her husband also started the Arkansas State Press, a paper that highlighted civil rights news way back in 1941. And it ran until a boycott by whites offended by the paper's pro-integration stance shut it down in 1959, the wonderful year that I was born. And when the Little Rock Nine needed a mentor and advisor, Bates was chosen. She not only walked them to school, she was the one who got them in the first place. Mm-hmm. Arrested at gunpoint, and her house was vandalized frequently, but she still considered Little Rock Nine one of her greatest achievements. And she did plenty at that. She wrote a memoir, which won the American Book Award, served on a poverty initiative of retirement. She moved to a small, she served on a poverty initiative under President Johnson. And in her 60s, when most people would be thinking about retirement, she moved to a small town in Arkansas and worked on infrastructure initiatives. Mm-hmm. Daisy Gaston Bates died at age 84, and as she lived, a total BAMF. Astronaut mother.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you all. So the person that I wanted to highlight and honor tonight for Black excellence is Daisy Gaston Bates.
All right. Mother Bates. Mother Bates.
Did you say Mother Bates?
I said Mother Bates.
Did you say Mother Bates? You did.
Mother Bates. We're saluting Mother Bates.
Look at it. And we got that in right before the show ended.
Look at that. Bam.
How about that? Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you all for joining us tonight on our Let's Get Newsy. Hopefully you all liked it, and thank you for chiming in and being a part of this tonight. I just love these brothers.
Amen.
I do. I just love you all. And you know, I'm looking at Black excellence right now.
Right here.
So, right now. And
the brotherhood.
Before we let you all go, Bobby has provided our words of the week this week, ladies and gentlemen, and they are by Muhammad Ali. I am America. I am the part you won't recognize, but get used to me. Black, confident, cocky. My name, not yours. My religion, not yours. My goals, my own. Get used to me. Thank you, Muhammad Ali.
Thank you for reading that. The way that you read it, Alvin King, you delivered that one.
Well,
I'm taking this myself.
Again, you guys make me better. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you, Sean, for being here tonight. Hello to all Sean's cousins who are here. Y'all celebrate him the way we celebrate him. We love him.
Sean's cousins.
Thanks to all the viewers who tuned in tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And have a wonderful, safe Super Bowl weekend. Whatever you do, be safe out there. We love you, and we hope that you will join us next week on the next episode of He Said. We got it down. Y'all have a good week today.
Bye
now.
Have a great week.